So at some point in pretty much every single person's life, there comes a period where they have to kind of go through the challenges of being unemployed. For some, it can be, a couple of months. For others, it could even be a couple of years. But it's a feeling that I guess everyone knows too well, especially right now. I've seen a few YouTube videos on my feed recently where people are talking about how bad unemployment feels. Here is a message of hope. And in doing so, I hope this does help you, pun intended. So I think let's try to start to talk about the sort of main pain points of unemployment in the first place. And I think it comes from it being essentially more than just about not having a job. And you probably think, wow, you're crazy for thinking that. And maybe I am, but I think it's more so to do with the kind of identity crisis that comes along with losing your job. A lot of us, especially in the kind of, I guess, Western world or city-like environments, where the sort of 9 to 5 is very sought after and is very common now. And as a result, not having a job basically means you kind of lose stability, therefore losing your power, therefore hurting your self-esteem, self-worth. And it's crazy that it's come to a point where our entire self-worth is based on a job. Like, for example, if you go ahead and say to someone, or if you see someone that you haven't seen for a long time, and they're like, oh man, how you doing? Immediately they'll just talk about their job. And it's like, is that all we are? Is that all that we have to offer in a conversation? Surely there's gotta be more than that, man. And that's where I think a big problem lies, because feelings are completely valid, but then it's like, in actuality, your value isn't just tied to your job, it's tied to who you are as an individual. Going through this human experience, but you just start to kind of endlessly self-doubt yourself. And you know what? If you are currently unemployed, how many times have you been on Indeed applying for every single job that you want to do, and then it coming to a point where you end up applying to the most basic of basic jobs just because you can have that feeling of feeling accepted by one application? And that could be for like the most random job. I remember one time I applied for pretty much every job I wanted to get into, right? Next thing you know, I was like, oh man, what do I do now? I ended up applying for a cleaning job. And I know damn well I was not going to do that cleaning job, but just because it felt kind of good to accept it with. It's nasty, man. Like, you shouldn't have to be scrolling job boards at night, or like when you're out, or in any kind of scenario. I completely get it, because again, bills need to be paid, right? So you got to do what you got to do, and in which, when they can't be paid, it's going to obviously cause some kind of disruption within your mental space, right? So I'm not denying that, by the way. I'm just saying, like, there's got to be something more than that, okay? And even when you get a job, I feel like a lot of people, when they do get jobs and stuff like that, it's like a constant cycle of, when you're unemployed, you get to the point where, like, damn, I need a job, I need money. Then you get the job and you're like, damn, I wish I had more free time, I don't want this job anymore. And then you do the same thing, on loop, over and over. Now, that's not really a way that I don't think we should be living. I ain't no scientist or nothing like that, but I just don't think that that's the way that we all envisioned life to be like. Alright, and I saw this good quote on one of the comments on that video, and it was about how only a slave quantifies its existence through productivity. Whoever referenced that text, shout out to you, and shout out to the person who actually made that, because damn, kind of be true. Like, productivity is not the all be all kind of goal in life. I mean, it's very important and it has its place, but it's, again, not the end goal, I don't think, at least. And I think during this time period where, again, job market is rough for a lot of people, so number one, you have to realize that you're not alone. You absolutely have to, because a lot of times you can put yourself in isolated situations when you feel down, and then you start to realize that the world isn't just against you, it's just something that a lot of people, including you, are going through right now. And then once you realize that, understand that you are worth more than your title and your paycheck. Because who were you before this job, or the last one, or Maybe who are you when nobody's watching? There's no boss in front of you. What do you like to do? And I ain't saying, go ahead and just abandon your job or job seeking completely. Nah. I mean, if you want to, you can. I don't recommend it unless you've got a proper plan in place, but what made you feel alive again? And I think it's really important during the time period when you are unemployed to figure that out. What was it that made you really, really happy? What hobbies do you want to develop? What skills do you want to learn? Some people like painting. Start painting again. Maybe you like walking. Start walking again. There's loads of passions that you can really kind of take your mind off things and also carry over to your next role. Learn that thing that can get your paycheck higher. Seek communities, talk to people, go out with people, join like-minded friendship groups or whatever there is nowadays that you've got online. And that's the great thing about the internet, right? Because you've got a lot of people just sharing their experiences of life. And there's so much to learn from them. There's so many skills you can learn nowadays from the internet, so you can really just do a lot now. I feel like because people often associate, again, unemployment with laziness, procrastination, and something where because you're not kind of chasing that paycheck, you're not really doing anything else with your life. But there really is a life with all of this stuff that we've got going on. Alright, even if it means creating a mini routine, even if it means just constantly hammering down applying, figuring out why, just do it, because there's a lot of wisdom to be attained now that you've got some more free time on your hands. Apart from all the job seeking that you're doing and applying, read some books, learn stuff, right? Because no one can ever take wisdom away from you. That's just straight facts. Because if you can deliver more value within the marketplace, that is the job market, then you're gonna win. So play the long game if you can. There's plenty of periods of time where sometimes you have to go through the struggle in order to see the light. And during those kind of times, it's very important to be able to heal. Maybe you've got some mental things you need to heal from. Maybe it's time that you can start that project you've always wanted to start. Maybe it's time to start that YouTube channel that you've always wanted to start. Because there's got to be hobbies and passions that you must have. But because of this whole situation, it's got you feeling like you're down in a funk. And that's not going to bring any kind of results, okay? So remember, if you're sitting here unemployed and unsure what to do or what's next, your story is far from over. Create greatness in terms of what that means to you and start building wherever you can. Build projects, build stuff that you can own, and build stuff that you can really be happy with. If you look 10 years down the line and you never even got one opportunity apart from now to be able to do what it is that you want to do, would you take it? Even if you knew that it was a small time period where you're unemployed? Probably will. So ponder over that. I apologize if I was a bit wishy-washy in terms of how I speaking. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.